Hey everyone. This is going to be a four-part series on the cognitive aspects of the tree of life, which is a Kabbalistic concept. But I'm going to try to stay away from everything that's not related to cognition. Um, and if you know nothing about Kabbalah, that's perfectly fine. We're going to get into like the exact basics and basic understandings of what the tree of life is. Just so you know, Kabbalah is an oral tradition that dates back before Judaism, supposedly at least, since the time of traditionally Adam, which was 5,700 years ago, passed down from mouth to ear, generation to generation. The next after after Adam, the next book we get is from traditionally Abraham, which is like 4,000 years ago about, and then we also get and then after that we get into the Jewish Kabbalah. And so the idea is also like you'll see that this this is not all of Kabbalah. This is just the tree of life, which is an aspect of Kabbalah. You see also that it relates to the chakras as well, so it's cross-cultural. And so the idea is it was passed on from Abraham to many different directions. And so we get after that 3,500 years ago, we get Moses. And then as the tradition goes, I'm just saying how it was passed on. Then supposedly after that, we have the Zohar, was written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai 2,000 years ago. And then about 500 years ago, we have the Ari. And so this is sort of like the basic chain of how the main seminal moments in Kabbalah. And I don't want to really speak about Kabbalah in general. I just want to relate it to the way it relates to human cognition. Um, so this will be the four-part series, and the way that relates to human cognition has to do with this, which is the tree of life. And so we'll just talk about the tree of life. Generally, there are three levels to the tree of life. You see that there's two sides, okay? And in the middle is the balancing function. So we get into two poles, like a binary of left and right. And beyond the binary coin, we have a balancing function in the middle, okay? Now, you'll see that there's 10 aspects, or 10, we'll call them traits, I guess, for this series. There's 10 traits in the Kabbalistic structure of the tree of life. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on. We're not going to be focusing on the 22 connections, which make up the Hebrew alphabet. We're going to speak more about the 10 traits themselves and how they relate to one another. The basic idea behind the tree of life is, for the cognitive process at least, again, Kabbalah is really huge. This is just one small portion and one specific way to speak about the tree of life. But we get the will, the free will, the desire up at the top. And then we have at the bottom the world, how it comes into the world. So here is speech and action, okay? So how does your desire make its way down through the cognitive process in order to get to the world and be implemented in some way? So that's basically what we're going to be talking about, this sort of really ancient cognitive theory or cognitive system in order to speak about human cognition. And you'll see that it speaks about things that I guess is outside of Jungian. It still involves a lot of Jungian stuff, but it speaks about basically three systems. Now, the three systems are, this is the top system, and then there's a trait here which doesn't appear on the tree. It's the 11th trait because it's not actually part of human cognition. It's external to the internal process, and it's created by these other two. So you get the first trait is called I guess it's the intellectual trinity, which balances left and right, the intellectual system. And the intellectual system is, I guess, related to, this is the chakra of the head, basically. I'm not going to really speak about it in terms of chakras or anything. Anyone who knows about chakras might, I don't know, bring it into a meditative process or whatever chakras are about. This is really just going to be more about a cognitive process. So this is related to the head. The next one is the moral system or the ethical system, which is related to the heart. And then the last one is the temporal system, which is related to the reproductive organ down here. And these are the feet, basically. Now, you don't need to remember that this is the head, the heart, and reproduction. You don't need to remember any of that. We're going to get into each of the cognitive processes individually. This is just sort of like an intro video to just say what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be 4 episodes, so we're going to start here with the intellectual process. We're going to end up, then the third video, we're going to get to the heart, the ethical process, and then we're going to get to the temporal process, the temporal cognition. And that's about it. Just as an introduction here, it's just basically how your will can make it into reality and what it has to go through in order to get there. Do I believe in this? I think it has a lot of merit. Should you believe in this? That would be up to you. I think regardless, it's useful to see other systems, especially ancient ones like this, which came along long before Jungian psychology. And for me, I've used a lot of these ideas, not implicitly, but explicitly, I guess, where I'm not really saying I'm using these ideas in some of my videos, but I'm using them anyways. It's a lot of things behind my thought process on how you balance human cognition. And so I think it's really important. So this is why I'm pretty much bringing it out as a extension to typology and human cognition. Now, there's no typology here. This is something that's just sort of constant for everybody. But it's still important to know how you bring your will into reality. I'm sure there's more stages. It's more complex than I can ever understand. And the last thing I'm just going to say is, how am I qualified basically to speak about this? Other than the fact that I've studied it, I have sort of received it from a couple of different rabbis from mouth to ear. This in particular, I've received. I've studied it a long time. I've read many books about it, old Hebraic books. My personal favorite teacher is the Ramchal, if anyone knows who that is, from Italy, about 400, 500 years ago as well. And yeah, that's it. So enjoy the series. If you don't want to learn about this stuff, so just sort of skip it. It's just going to be 4 videos. Other than that, I hope to see you guys all around. So have a good one.